Lunchbox is brought to you by the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bacon with shafafa on the side.
All right, now I hear us. Now we're rolling, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It's a happy hour edition, and I am quite happy to be at the House on the River next to this guy, Steve DaPuzzo. Society 8 Hospitality. He is just knocking them dead with everything that he's doing. I mean, he's got on the beach, the Atlantic, Wild Time at the Atlantic Hotel and Spa. We were there last month. Block 40 Food Hall in Hollywood. We were there in January. We haven't been here, the House on the River, at least for the show, since December. I can't believe it's been a full 3 months. But, I have been here myself without Lubie and the equipment, but because I walk past here every weekend, and it is hopping and packed with the House of Veuve and the, got the tea, service, high tea, all kinds of things going on.
All kinds
of
good stuff going on.
How are you doing this month?
It's doing good.
You survived spring break?
Spring break is on.
It's still going?
It's still going.
Okay, because I don't know what the official cutoff date is.
I think it's tapering off a little bit, but it's definitely still in effect.
I guess, you're right, because I was down on Hollywood Beach this morning taking a walk. It was such a beautiful day. I couldn't go inside to a gym, but I did about a 4+ mile walk and worked up a good sweat because the sun was out. And, there was a lot of, bikinis and the younger, people on the younger side. And I guess there's also, schools here in the town are off this week for spring break.
Okay, so they got this week.
They got this week. I guess every school is different between Broward, Palm Beach, the private schools, the public schools, the Catholic schools, and of course the colleges. Oh, meanwhile, we've got some treats coming in here. This is a gorgeous looking plate here. I hope everybody can see it there. If you're tuning in at home on Let's Eat South Florida.
Burrata with roasted strawberries.
Looks
good. Little
good.
Thin cut prosciutto, grilled bread, and then below the burrata we have a little pesto, EVOO, and topped with a little lemon breadcrumbs.
It
Just
looks
a little
great.
touch.
I love the lemon breadcrumbs because you know me, you need a little bit of crunch to go along with all that smooth, creamy burrata. Yeah. And, of course, you got the nice grilled bread. Your bread here, do you take it, it's from a local purveyor?
Yep, local purveyor.
Can we name it? Is it Gran Forno? No, it's... oh, God. No, I don't want to give that away.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. State secrets. But it looks like
it's delicious fresh bread.
Good grilled bread.
Yeah.
And, Lubie, how are you doing this afternoon, sir?
I'm doing well. Very happy to be out here. Every time I walk out here, I'm transplanted to another area, and I love South Florida, but it's always cool to be able to stay home but feel like you're away. And I know I did this last time. I know when we were here for tea, I said this, but I can't. Every time I walk, and I've been going to downtown Fort Lauderdale my whole life, where a lot of people went to Los Olos. When I was in college and would come down, we always went to Riverfront. That's always where we went to. I did not know we had this down here in South Florida, and I'm happy every time I step foot here.
Well, again, it's a historic property that you have kind of managed to
bring back to life.
Bring back to life.
Yeah.
For people who don't know where House on the River is, it's right on the new river, kind of wedged between the railroad tracks and where the Riverwalk complex used to be, or the river. What'd they call it?
Riverfront.
Riverfront.
I mean, wherever I used to all the bars and clubs.
But it's on Street. Yeah. Yep. And it's just tucked a little bit south of Himmershey Street, south of the Science Museum, and just a little bit to the east of the Broward Center for the Performing Arts.
Correct.
And you can't miss it if you're walking along the Riverwalk path here, which I do every weekend, and it's, like I said, it's always packed.
People are just enjoying this riverfront. They're going from building to building. It's been incredible.
And it's also, like Lubie says, like I've said, you feel like you're transported to someplace like a charming southern town, which Fort Lauderdale still can be, as exhibited here, but you feel like you might be in Charleston or Savannah,
Savannah, yeah.
It
or
has that
New
vibe.
Orleans. It's a
Yep.
very kind of laid back, southern, genteel vibe.
One, it's something like we talked about from my experience this weekend. Just because you have a great views doesn't mean you're gonna get great food. And something we talked about with Steve is
Here he takes
they-
pride in his food.
he
went
could
to
get
a
away
place.
with just the view. Like just being here, as long as the food was passable, people would come back and they'd be happy. The fact that I leave here, I come with the view and I leave with the food, is talks about what they do with everything Steve does and
Right,
everything they do here. The food is as fantastic as the view.
Yeah, we were discussing earlier this week. He went to one of these venerable places that's right on the ocean front, but the food was just not very
It just was.
inspiring.
I'm not even trying to be mean.
and a lot of places that have those great views.
Well, they're trying to do volume. We don't really try to do volume. We limit the reservations.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a house. It's not a restaurant. So operating it's a little bit different.
And house is like a home. It feels very homey
Yes, you
and
feel like you're at
comfortable
home.
in here. And I mentioned this earlier in the week on the program, but not to you directly.
Mhm.
My daughter still hasn't been here. I've tried to drag her,
I mean,
a college kid. She comes in. I say, let's go for brunch here, house on the river. And she's like, no, Dan, and whatever. She came out on a boat ride with her mother the other week. They came all the way down the New River.
Right.
They came past it. She goes, what's that place? It looks gorgeous.
You're not
I
allowed.
want to go.
You're
here."
not allowed.
Exactly.
I'm a softie. I said next time she's coming back for Easter week, I said it's called House on the River. They're one of my sponsors. It's spectacular. She goes, it looks so nice. I said, yeah, and they have House of Vove, but I'm not going to let you use your fake ID here.
You're not getting Steve in
You're
trouble.
going to have to wait until you're actually
Yeah.
21, which is going to be sooner than I can even imagine. She's 19 now, but Natalia, yeah, if I was a hard guy, I would say, no, you got to wait. But we will bring you in here for a brunch or maybe a high tea or one of the experiences that
She'll
it seems
love it. It's fun.
everybody is loving.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, so you asked me before we started about I made a recent pilgrimage
Yes,
to
I wanna
our
hear about the trip
hometown,
to
which was
hometown.
Brooklyn. And, my native Brooklyn. It's funny, you're named DaPuzzo, I'm named Mayo, but my Mayo is short for Myaskovsky. I came from Russian Jews, but I should have been born Italian because every time when I go back to Brooklyn and
They're very close.
Yeah.
They're very close together.
my old neighborhood, Mill Basin, it was half Italian, half Jews, and we all ate and mixed up together. And Val came with me. I gave her a tour of my old stomping grounds. Now we did a little mix of. We went to my old Mill Basin Deli, which has great matzo ball soup and a great pastrami combo corned beef sandwich on club bread, which is something you don't usually see. It's more like
True.
Italian bread,
Yeah.
and with a sweet pickled pepper in the middle. But then I took her on the whole Italian food tour where we went to Da Fara Pizza because there was no wine. I got a great slice there. I couldn't believe it. I went to some of the pastry shops that were in my old neighborhood, Aliota Pastry on Avenue N.
That's right.
And right next to it is Moretti Bakery, where they bake great fresh loaves and all kinds of, sourdough and rye bread. And both of these places take cash only, which I love. That's
Gotta
old
love
school.
that.
Old school.
Old school.
And very reasonably priced considering the quality of product that you're getting. But then I mentioned for dinner, we ended up going to Gargiulo's in Coney Island.
Which has been there for, it has to be 100 years.
1907.
No, wow, really? Over 100 years, jeez.
Wow.
I can't even do math that high.
Right.
I think it's like 120
18
years, almost
No,
100,
no, you're right.
118
It's
years.
118 years.
118, yeah.
Now they got, hit hard by Hurricane or Superstorm Sandy, and I think they were closed for, I don't know if it was a full year, but they came back stronger than ever, been around for over 100 years. And you were asking me, how was it? And the honest answer is, okay, I love going back to my old stomping grounds. The Russo brothers are the owners, and I saw Anthony Russo. He got us seated on a Saturday night. I had a reservation, but, it gets crowded in there. Old school service. The waiters there, they wear the tuxedos.
The crummers on the table.
The crummers, and they come around. Like if you order and you're going to split a salad, if you have 4 people at the table, they come around with the French service, and they scoop, immaculate. They don't drop a shred of lettuce, and same thing with the pastas. They'll portion it out. Delicious. But the food itself, I don't know if I ordered wrong this time or it just wasn't as good as it used to be. Like I always used to get the mozzarella and carrozza, which is like the fried mozzarella, and it didn't seem like the dough on the outside was as crisp or as crunchy as it used to be. I ordered a fish dish. I usually always ordered the veal, and it was like, and it had some bones in it. Like I hate to be nitpicky, but like I still love the experience, and you were
Well,
asking.
we were talking about it that you remember places from decades ago and you build it up in your mind. And at the time, that was like the marker. That was it. That was a place to
Right.
go. And I don't know if it's they change or we change.
We change. I think
We
we
travel. We kind of elevate
Yep.
our
Exactly.
taste, and then you go back to the other places, and it's not the same.
Well, and I think
Or
it's
it's not
something
the way you remember it.
we've seen down here where things grow, things are fluid, things move, and a lot of the times the old places, what you loved about it was that it was an old standby, but you've gotten used to things modernizing or changing or
Right.
transforming, and they didn't.
Right.
So a lot of the time, we definitely have a lot of nostalgia, and some things hold true, but not everything does. It's interesting how that works.
The old school standards are, the basic, and they hold up. But I guess if they try to kind of stay current with some trends, maybe they don't do that as well.
Even the
But
qualities of the olive oils. Think about, importing
Mhm.
literally
Real Italy.
118 years ago versus now
Yep.
is
Back
a
then it
different
was
quality.
Genko
Yeah,
olive oil.
Genko.
Godfather fans will know that reference. But no, it was. I still had a really enjoyable meal, but my favorite part of the meal, and this is something I was asking you about, is it's called tombola. As are you familiar with it? Have you heard of it? And if you've gone there, then you would know, I guess, when I'm going to mention it. But it's basically combines an element of gambling, except that you really can't lose. You can only win. The house can lose. Because they come around at the end of the meal when they present you with your check, they ask you to pick a number between 1 and 90. And they come around with a little shaker with these little bingo pills.
I barely remember this.
So they still do it.
They still do it.
I was thrilled. For parties of 8 or less, which is pretty generous. I would have thought the cutoff would be 5 or something like that. But for parties of 8 or less, if you pick the right number when they shake it at the table and put the pill down right in front of you, if you hit the number, your tab is on the house.
Oh, the whole tab.
Yeah. The
I didn't realize it was the whole tab.
Now, I don't know if that includes wine or alcohol.
I don't remember that. That was always a thing?
It was a thing since I remember. I've been going there since I was in my, high school or even junior high days. I used to go to a place called Carolina. My family used to go to Carolina, which was on Mermaid Avenue. And they had the best baked clams, oregonata. I love that stuff. Now, you're a Brooklyn boy, so you know all this stuff.
Yep.
But the Carolina closed. I think it had a fire and it never came back. Maybe the origins of the fire, a little suspicious, but that's okay. Carolina closed, and then we gravitated just down the block, a few blocks away, is Gargiulo's, and we became loyalists to that place. So, and through the years, I've been going there, and I remember them having this tombola, but I've never seen it at any other restaurant around.
Never. That's fun.
And not to give you any ideas, because that costs you money, because I guess the odds are
statistics
every 90 times
someone's getting
you're going to take it on the chin. But I think it adds an element of just fun.
That's fun.
And one more thing that people will talk about and remember and say,
True.
oh, we didn't win, but at least they were gracious enough to let us think that we could or have the opportunity to win a free dinner. So I'm going to plant that seed in your head.
I might have to adopt that to something.
Yeah, and
that could be fun.
I got a little video of it. I'll send it to you because
it's like a little shaker kind of thing?
It's a shaker. It's kind of like what you see at the old school bingo halls, where it has all these little bingo pills with the numbers, and the guy shakes it up, and then it just
you say a number first, and you have to try and match that number.
Yeah, you pick a number, and he writes it on the back of the check.
Okay.
And so that's the recorded document of what your number
the
is.
official documentation.
And then he puts the pill down right in front of you and says, nope, sorry. Or, some case people groan when it's one off, when in reality it doesn't matter if it's 1 or
random
40. It's random. But, I just thought it was fun. Yeah.
That's fun. I don't remember that.
And
That's
I
crazy.
once asked on the Let's Eat group if anybody had ever seen that in any restaurant, either here in South Florida or anywhere. Nobody seems to remember. I don't know
I've
where.
never heard of this.
I don't know where Gargiulo's picked it up from. If it was something from a church fest, I don't know. It was
fun.
It's fun.
Definitely fun.
All right. Speaking of fun,
Yes.
we're having tons of fun here at the House on the River. Let's take our first break.
Do it.
And then after that, we'll talk more about what's going on in the wide world of Society 8 hospitality, all the different properties in Steve DaPuzzo's world, and specifically what's going to be happening here in the upcoming months at House on the River. After these words on the Lunchbox.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom-and-pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sautéed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you gotta check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey District, just south of Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to the House on.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We are with Steve DaPuzzo of Society 8 Hospitality at one of his, I guess you'd call it, flagship properties now, House on the River. Although, I guess they're like children. How can you pick a favorite, right?
Depends on the day.
Yeah. Enjoying this burrata strawberry salad, and this is on the regular dinner menu, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And the lemon, what do you call it? Lemon crunchies, I call it. It's
toasted breadcrumbs with lemon.
Toasted breadcrumbs
nice.
with lemon. And it gives it that little bit of a crunch. It's, again, with the strawberry, gives it a little bit of sweetness. It goes perfectly with the burrata and the beautiful.
It's funny, is we did the
prosciutto.
strawberries raw first,
Okay.
just cut,
Yeah.
and that was good and fresh. But when we did a little saute on them, it changed the whole flavor profile.
That's
Sauté.
interesting.
So it's like,
Yeah.
because I've heard of like macerated
never seen that
strawberries.
from
Yeah,
when you
these
kinda
aren't
like,
really that. These are just, they're slightly cooked. It just releases a little bit of a different flavor to it.
Mm.
And then the balsamic, obviously, with strawberries, classic.
yeah, gives it a little bit of that
It's
sweet
a-
edge,
yes.
but not
Yeah.
not overly sweet. All right, meanwhile, now I've got my mouth full.
Yeah.
Lubie, you got to save me. Talk about the cocktails.
Well, I was gonna ask what I know. We know this is a.
So this is, we call that fly like a butterfly.
Oh,
It
nice.
is muddled blueberries,
Okay.
a little bit of tonic, and Hendrick's gin,
Okay.
and a
Leave that
little
for Mr.
lemon.
Mayo.
Delicious. Delicious drink.
That's on the lighter side. That
It's-
feels like it's in Mayo's wheelhouse these
Yeah,
days.
it's like a smoothie, but not. It's
I
called
think-
an afternoon smoothie.
This looks vaguely familiar. I think I might have had it when I was here for a brunch with Val, or possibly when we were here and meeting some people, actually Lubie and Shirley, for the high
High
tea
tea.
experience. I think we sat in that corner bar, and that's like a hidden gem there.
That's really
Yeah.
In the
nice.
back, inside,
Yep.
along the
Oh, it's great.
street,
Yeah.
it has this beautiful. I mean, it's just very elegant in there.
Yeah, we're kind of redoing a couple of the inside spaces coming into summer, so that bar is kind of getting boosted up a little bit, and then the middle room we're doing a champagne, and we have the bakery, so now it's gonna have a little
Right.
kind of French champagne thing going
And
on.
that
in there,
bakery is
too.
great too.
Yeah.
People can just pop
Yeah,
in
Shirley
when they're
does a
on
good
their
job at
walks
that.
and just grab a quick croissant.
Yeah.
Back in my days when I was eating.
More carbs.
More carbs. But yeah, I think I had this drink at the bar inside while we were waiting, and it's fantastic. I love a good. I mean, if you could say, "Oh, create a drink for me that represents spring," this I think
that
is
feels like spring,
spring
yeah.
in a
It feels like a
glass.
day drink. It's like
Looks very nice.
Anything with gin is also very spring and summerish, if that's a word.
There you go.
And
I'm not a huge fan of gin, but when it's put in the right cocktail, I think it just really enhances it.
gin is one of those underappreciated things that at one point early in my drinking days, I would drink a lot of gin and tonics. I seem to remember Tanqueray being
Yep.
in my bloodstream.
Oh,
more.
wow.
Fortunately, I never had the bad incident like I did with tequila. So I'm still able to drink gin and enjoy it. And it's one of those things, like you said, you don't think to drink it or order it, but then when you do, you're like, oh, wow.
It's
okay,
refreshing.
It's
nice.
refreshing.
It's nice on a balanced drink.
Especially
It
when
really
you
is.
put it in a drink that has some herbs and herbaceousness. And
Yep.
because isn't gin itself is made from the juniper berry? Is that
It's
right?
really vodka. It's the same process as vodka, but as they're distilling it, it goes through juniper
right.
Oh, wow.
in a basket.
Okay.
So the vapor, the vodka, as it's distilling, goes through the juniper.
So it's like
and
from a
it comes out.
grain that's infused with the juniper berry, or
No, the grain, the alcohol is alcohol. It's the same way you make
okay,
vodka.
okay.
But
It's a
in the
distillation.
distillation process, the alcohol turns to vapor. That's what a
Okay.
still is.
Okay.
And then they put a basket. And in the basket, you can put herbs in there, and that's where
the
juniper
comes in.
goes
Yeah.
in. There's different techniques, but that's
It
a
has
very primary one.
it has a distinct light flavor. Some
Yes.
people don't love it. To me, I'd rather drink gin than maybe some of those anise flavor, spirits. The
Once in a while, I like a good
Ouzo.
sambuca
Sambuca, Ouzo. You got to be in the right frame of mind.
or wrong.
I was gonna say, you
or on your way to the wrong
Perfect
frame of
state of
mind.
mind.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
But you've got a great cocktail mixology program here,
Yeah.
and this
Of
is
course.
Lubie. This
This
has
is all
become.
Oh, yeah, I got this.
When the heck did an espresso martini get as big as it did?
it just blew
Well, that's
up.
3 years, 5 years.
And didn't it start off as just like a dessert drink, and now people are drinking it?
It's like a pre-dinner drink.
Now people are drinking it for breakfast
Yeah.
and morning, noon, and night. It seems like the
That's
women,
fantastic.
especially,
Yeah.
Well, my wife loves it. Like
You know, the
it's
20
a
and
huge
30
fan of the
somethings.
espresso
Yeah.
martini.
you give them
Yeah.
that, they see those three beans floating on top of a foamy sea of vodka espresso goodness.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we've got other. I'm
Well,
gonna put this off to the side.
Sure.
We've got. Tell us what we've got going here, Steve. This is other stuff from the dinner menu.
Yes.
House on the River. We know it as a brunch place. Here, you know what? We'll put this
Put
off
it
to
right
the
there.
side.
Put it
Yeah,
right there.
we'll
That's
put it
good.
here.
So we have our thick double cut pork chop.
That looks excellent.
That was fantastic.
grilled, fire grilled, so it gets all that char flavor, and then we top it with a noir, almost like a peppercorn cream sauce with a little Pinot Noir wine in it,
Really?
and mushrooms.
Oh my God.
This
So it's like a little bit of a hybrid kind of sauce.
Val would go
Well, what-
crazy for this. She loves a pork chop and she loves mushrooms and she, loves
Look at
that
It-
little.
it's-
There's a lot of
creamy-
mushrooms. Usually when you
It's
have a
good.
sauce, you don't get thick, chunky mushrooms. Like
It's-
and
it's-
these are
those are
smashed.
fantastic.
Smashed
Look at these
potatoes.
potatoes. These
Smashed
potatoes look
potatoes.
utterly amazing. I know, man, but I'm not gonna
Don't
lie.
look
Those
at
look
it.
ridiculous.
I
Don't
have
look
been
at it.
reprogrammed. I just want protein, nothing but protein and vegetables. Although this pasta, the angry shrimp,
Angry shrimp is our take on a olive vodka, but it's no vodka. We do it with cognac. So it's a
wow.
cognac
Interesting.
cream sauce.
cognac cream sauce.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
look at these Calabrian peppers
Yeah,
just
so the
sitting
heat-
there.
And the Calabrian peppers, they have a little heat and it goes away. So there's no real burn,
Okay.
but we call it our angry shrimp rigatoni.
You know what? Maybe you should rename it because
What?
if they're not really angry. First of all, it
They're
looks
slightly angry.
It looks
Pissed off.
so we should
Like slightly pissed off.
Perturbed.
mildly perturbed shrimp vodka.
That's not
Oh,
as
no.
catchy, Mayo.
Rigatoni.
That's angry.
Not as catchy. All right, I fail
Yeah.
restaurant marketing 101,
Yeah.
but yeah,
There's
slightly
something in
angry,
this conversation. We're going to come out with it.
mildly perturbed. I can't even say the word perturbed.
Slightly disturbed.
I think
Slightly
shrimp shrimp's a
disturbed.
great idea.
That's me. Is slightly disturbed, but it looks great. And
It is so good.
it's,
Have a shrimp. There's protein in there.
I'm gonna.
I know
have,
you
well,
can't
you
do
know
the
what?
pasta.
Don't never say can't. I
Okay.
just shouldn't. And I'm not like gravitating. Well, I am gravitating to it because it looks so
It looks
darn
ridiculous.
good. But
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
like the
get one
color.
of the
I like
shrimp,
how
Yeah,
it's a
There's
more
a little
dark red.
crispy basil on top.
and I'm gonna grab a whole Calabrian chili if that's allowed, and maybe
Yeah.
slice it up a little bit
Go for
and,
it.
They're
and
good.
kind of
They're
make
such
it.
a unique flavor.
Yeah,
They're great on pizza. I'm
Oh.
surprised more people don't put them on pizza.
it's funny. We hang out with another guy from Calabria, Frank Talrico, who has
Of course.
a
Casa
property
Calabria.
of Casa Calabria, and he takes great pride in bringing in all these kinds of ingredients from his native land. He was born there. He loves using these Calabrian chilies, and I love tasting them because, like you said, they don't overwhelm you. It's not like a jalapeno or
There's no
one of those
burn.
ghost peppers.
It's a little spice, and it's there. You enjoy it, and it goes away.
and again, having the cognac instead of the
It changes the whole sauce.
It gives a different dimension, and it's very good.
That's been a big trend.
And that pepper, like you said, mildly perturbed. It's not very
Like you feel it and then it goes away.
oh, it's very nice. I mean, that's a great dish. I bet you sell a lot of
Yeah, it's a great dish. People flock to it. It went on as a special. Now it's on the menu. Now it's on lunch. People are asking for it. It's a good dish. It's a good
and it
dish.
goes perfectly with what's the name of it again? I'm just
Fly like a butterfly.
fly like a butterfly. I just call it the purple
Little
drinker.
Mayo eater.
It's delicious. It really goes well with the shrimp and a little bit of the Calabrian
It's called
chilies.
an afternoon smoothie.
It's good. I tell you what. Darn you, Steve DaPuzzo. You are breaking through the Ozempic, too. I'm not supposed to have an appetite, but when I'm surrounded by good food,
It's hard
like I
not to
was
look
in
at
New
this.
York,
Yeah.
sometimes I just keep eating. Now, I'm glad that I got my exercise in. Talk about here, House on the River. It really seems like it's building in terms of both word of mouth and through Let's Eat South Florida. Because, one of the usual questions we always get, especially around this time of year when there's a big show down the block and Lion King is playing now, is where should I go eat before
this is
or
right
after a
by.
performance at the Performing Arts Center? And I always chime in with the House on the River
Yeah.
because it's like so many people maybe don't even realize
It's
it's
steps
here.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're there.
I mean, it's under a minute
Yeah,
walk,
wow.
so it's great.
It's one of those
We're
hidden-
getting a lot of pre-show and post-show diners, and it's great. We even have another menu that's a little faster, so they
Right.
can get in and out. But we still cook everything to order, so
Right.
sometimes they come in 10
It's-
minutes before the show. Right?
It's
That's
more
not happening.
streamlined, but it's designed to get people in and out
Yes.
in like under
Yes.
90 minutes, 75
Like
minutes.
we do a whole fish. No matter what we do, it's a 30-minute
Yeah, it's
fish.
a whole
So
fish.
that's not a great choice if you're in a rush for the show.
Right.
But things like our braised short rib. I mean, that's that's cooked for hours on end and then served.
Ready to go, yeah.
So
and one of the challenges of this location, as beautiful as it is that it's off all the roadways.
on the road.
yeah,
It's off the, forget about major
it's a
thoroughfares.
local secret.
It's so as it builds, and this is part of the
Mhm.
reason why I'm happy that we're partnering with you on the Lunchbox and get the word out on Let's Eat.
yeah.
because once you pass by it, and then once you come in, and once you experience it, you're hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
it's in your rotation for sure.
yeah, and perfect spot to come. Depending on which show you're catching, but for matinee on a weekend, you come after the show and have a nice relaxing
Yep.
late lunch. I saw a bunch of people here after. It was probably about 4 o'clock on Saturday, and coming out of the Lion King, and
Yeah. We have
And-
pre-show, post-show. It's awesome.
How late do you serve food?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
Anywhere between 9 and 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So most people are coming pre-show and they make a reservation, and we got them covered. And it's just so easy to park once and just walk right over.
yeah.
Yep.
So they could park there, walk here, or park around here and walk
and
there.
it's a great, really delightful walk along
it's
the
a
river
beautiful
here.
walk.
I mean, this is now that I'm living on the other side of the river. We do our weekend walks, and we come right by here. And then Val usually, sometimes she goes into the bakery and looks in there, and then also makes a little rest stop. And I say, I just want a black coffee. Just give me that. But the pastry's looking great in the
The
bakery.
croissants,
Yeah,
that pistachio croissant.
yeah. I think I might have had a little bite of that.
You might have.
It's hard not
You don't
to.
have to admit it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't admit it.
I didn't hear that.
I'm always deluding myself. And the bakery hours are what?
8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're now expanding that menu a little bit. We're doing some really cool toasts.
Nice.
Avocado toast, a peanut butter with a fresh strawberry jam toast.
Oh wow.
Some good stuff. And we're also going to be doing some salads through the summer on
Yeah.
croissants.
Nice.
It's like,
Oh,
I don't
nice.
want to say three-ring circus, but it's a multifaceted eating and
Experience.
drinking
Experience.
emporium,
Yeah.
because House of Vove. All right. First of all, basic hours here. You're closed Monday and Tuesday, but
Correct.
open Wednesday through Sunday.
Right. So Wednesday, Thursday, 4, we do dinner service from
Okay.
4 to close. Friday, we do lunch and dinner. And then Saturday, Sunday, brunch, dinner. And you could dine on this was Tom's house, one of the brothers. So we have this patio. We call it the East House. And then we have the House of Uve, which is
Right.
just a fun, vibrant. There's a DJ over there. It's a different vibe.
And that's every Saturday, Sunday.
And that's every Saturday.
Oh, that's
Sunday.
over. It's over
And
there.
that's
Yeah,
on the
they
other
have
patio.
the tents.
Correct.
They usually they
All
have,
the Veuve Clicquot
the
umbrellas,
Veuve Clicquot
and
umbrellas.
games and
The
stuff.
different
It's fun.
and then the bottles of Veuve are sold by the bottle.
You buy it by the bottle or the glass.
Okay.
We have it by the glass or by the bottle. And
And then little box lunches, or there's a
no,
menu.
it's a whole menu.
Whole menu?
And
Okay.
it's nice. It goes from breakfast items, from waffles and berries
Oh, okay.
to
So
the whole fish.
full service. But what did I think I saw people wearing with these little picnic boxes?
No,
or
you're thinking of the Veuve Clicquot burger box.
the burger box.
So we serve a burger, which is killer.
Yeah.
It's a double smash burger
Oh my god.
with a similar peppercorn style sauce on
A
it.
burger?
Yeah,
Oh,
sweet
smash
onion
burger.
jam
Oh,
with cheese.
with cheese Gouda.
oh wow,
Oh,
Gouda,
yes.
that's
peppercorn,
nice.
double smash burger.
Oh,
We got to get
God.
Burger
Oh,
Beast
my
up here
God.
to review that. Way too classy for the Burger
Oh,
Beast,
no,
but we'll get him in.
get him here
No,
anyways.
it's good.
Um,
And so that comes in a Veuve Clicquot clamshell box,
Oh, my
like
God.
like the Mickey Diesel
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
It's
we
a
saw
Veuve Clicquot.
everybody eating that
Yeah.
when we were doing our high tea on the
Mhm.
second floor. We
Right.
looked out over the window, and it seemed like everybody
Everyone
had those
that.
burger boxes.
It's fun. It's fun. So it's a grounded, it's Veuve Clicquot. Everyone thinks a little more Frenchy
level,
and
yeah,
over
yeah.
the top, and it's not that. We have
I
We have
wouldn't, what?
chips and trout and
A double smash burger
uh-huh.
has just enough of the the caramelization and the kind of the fatty richness of the
Yes.
patties.
Yes.
That would really pair well with a
I think
dry,
so.
crisp
Sure.
Veuve Clicquot. How's that
Perfect.
for foodie talk there? It actually sounds really good. Like fried chicken goes really well with
Does.
Veuve Clicquot and champagne in general.
Because of the fattiness.
But I've never really done the smash burger with it.
It's good.
So it's going to be on my list
Yeah.
as
Truffle fries.
as the dosing wears off at the end of the week, which works out perfectly because it happens on a Monday where I juice. I call it a juice on Monday. So Saturday,
God,
Sunday, I get a little bit hungry, and I
you
might
see a
have.
difference? You feel a difference?
Oh, I definitely do.
Really?
Yeah, definitely do. It wears off, especially if I'm exercising more. You burn it off, and you kind of get that appetite really fueled up by the end of the week. Which is kind of the hard part for me, where I got to control myself, especially when I'm around places like this. Kudos to you because, all right, I just took a bite of this double cut pork chop. It is so juicy and flavorful. And again, you can't go home again because I did order a pork chop with cherry peppers at Gargiulo's, and it came out a little bit hammered. It was dry, and this is so much better than the one I had at Gargiulo's. And
Good.
forgive me, Russo brothers, don't come after me. Maybe I should have specified to undercook the pork chop.
On a pork
But
chop?
this is not even undercooked.
No,
This is
no.
perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like cooked all the way through, but it's juicy.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
get
it's
medium rare on a pork
very
chop.
good.
No, you always ask for medium on a pork chop, which is
Yeah.
what I asked for that at that meal, and it came out a little bit on the well done like a Jewish grandmother. This is outstanding. The mushroom and that again the peppercorn cream
Yep.
sauce with the tinge of Pinot Noir, and I actually could see a little bit of tinge of the redness. It's really good. It's not too heavy,
No,
but it
it's
has just the right
nice.
amount of creaminess.
Yeah.
This is a killer dish. I gotta come here soon. Actually, I'm here right now.
You
Yeah.
are here.
You know what I mean.
Come
And
back,
it's in front of you.
Bring the ladies, yeah.
What do you think? Time for another break?
I'm always ready for some more action here on the
All
Lunchbox. As House on the River always seems to. Lisa Coach was like, I love that area. I'm like, yeah, as a born and raised South Floridian, I'm mad at myself that I didn't know it existed. But we take every chance we can to get back here because this
Yeah.
place is fantastic.
It is great. You got to owe it to yourself to check it out
Oh,
as
no,
soon as
there's
you
nothing
can
like it down here.
from one of their experiences. House on the River. The address, I can't even tell you. It's just you go south. What is the
301 Southwest 3rd Avenue.
That's a third. That's what it is.
Third Avenue.
Yeah.
Put it into your GPS. You'll
Yeah.
find it.
House on the River.
If
I'm
you
a
get
good
wet, you've gone too far. We'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after this.
When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner, reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com and tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the lunch. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to Taverna.
We're back. It is Happy Hour Edition, House on the River, Fort Lauderdale, overlooking the beautiful New River. It is staying lighter later, which means it's a great time to come out. You can kind of see the beautiful dusk and sunset out here.
Got the water taxi cruising around.
I'm sipping my Purple People drinker, also known as a float like a butterfly. Do I got that right?
Fly like a butterfly.
Fly like a butterfly.
Yes, Ali.
Well, I'm going to be floating
You'll be floating and
if I
flying.
have a lot more of the gin.
So that pork chop is utterly ridiculous. That is amazing. Like, first of all, the sauce you got on top is wonderful, but it doesn't even need it. The way you guys cook that pork chop,
It's juicy.
it's so hard to cook a pork chop because he was just talking about a place he went to and they overdid it.
Yeah.
Because again, you can't underdo it. So
Even on the grill, you got to be a little careful.
it's
Those
very
greens,
tough
you
to
need
make it that juicy and not undercooked. That is a wonderful dish.
You don't want to see pink in your pork.
No, but you want it to be juicy. Like, that's the problem. Is it's so often you do go the other way because you're trying to be safe, especially at restaurants. Like, it's better to be safe than sorry, but you got
A
somehow
lot of
mastered
people
it.
order it mid-rare.
Okay.
They
Really?
do.
They
do.
will.
Yeah, a little pink in it.
Well,
it's surprising
You know
because we're
what?
so programmed.
Yeah, I didn't know you
On a
could.
pork chop,
you
I didn't
know
know you
what?
could.
Yeah.
I know with pork tenderloin you can have a little pink in it because it's the kind of leaner part, interior part of
Correct.
the meat.
Correct.
And again, the quality of the way that pork is handled and raised, it's not like
It's
the
changed.
old days.
Yes.
So you can
But
have
mentally,
it.
I have a hard time with it. Mentally.
Yeah, I don't
I go
wanna-
with the medium.
Yeah,
On
I'm
a
not going to
steak,
order a medium.
I'm mid-rare.
Yeah,
But on the pork chop, I go on the medium side.
the pork chop on medium. Even on a veal chop, sometimes I go a little toward the medium side because it seems to have better just texture and flavor.
No, the
Like
consistency
if
gets
you if you get a rare veal chop, it gets a little bit chewy sometimes. I don't know. It's all personal preference, right? As I say in the group,
Eat what you like.
there is
Eat
no
what you like,
cooked
exactly.
perfectly. There's only perfectly for
Just don't
you.
get a filet well done, please.
Oh, God.
Thank you. I mean,
Don't even.
no judgments, but
No judgments,
there will be
but-
judgments.
but
Like,
just
okay,
slightly.
we've got a Philistine on table 43.
You're throwing the garbage.
We don't know no garbage, but
No.
it's just
No, when
but
you're going a
you
well
can get
done.
the end cut.
Yeah.
Give me the end cut.
I was gonna say.
So let's see. Let's give a quick recap, not just here of House
Yeah, I
on
want
the
to go
River,
around the
go around the horn,
world,
so to
the
speak.
DaPuzzo world.
Atlantic Hotel and Spa.
Yeah.
You have introduced at Wild Time Restaurant the new kind of grazing approach to the Sunday brunch. Is that introduced
started
yet?
yet?
No, it's coming up. It's
Okay.
Coming up.
Because my
April?
wife and I did go after our last show
Right.
for brunch, and the
Yeah.
brunch board was utterly fantastic.
It's fun.
Like I was like, do we need a buffet? Like it felt like a buffet. We got
Yeah.
a little bit of everything,
Yeah, it
and
comes
we even
right
had
to you.
leftovers, honestly.
Yeah, we are going to launch that. We're going to do it right around Easter.
Easter. Okay, so a little
Yeah.
bit later
Yeah.
because why
An
not?
Easter brunch, both places are doing big Easter brunches, buffets,
Okay.
which we haven't done in years.
Okay.
Since COVID, we were doing them and we just stopped and we never picked up on it. So now we're going to start launching again on the buffet at Wild
Again,
Time.
Easter Sunday is
Yeah.
April 20th.
Yep.
It's also the same day this year as Greek Orthodox Easter. So it
Interesting.
coincides, both of them the same day. Makes it less confusing. Now, is that an all-day buffet? You're going to be going from...
It's a brunch. It's
a brunch.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Well, that sounds pretty appetizing.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We do some live stations, meats, pastas, the omelets, the breads, all that, and then we do little small plates out of the kitchen.
Mhm.
So you can kind of pick a few different things, and if you're enjoying it, you keep on getting more of it. So it's flowing small plates.
And then you were talking about the flowing small plates being kind of part and parcel of the Sunday brunch
Yes,
service
it is.
starting after Easter.
It's
or
going to be on Easter as well.
on Easter, but then
But
after
going
that,
forward,
that,
you're
going
going to be
forward.
having,
$39 and also a part buffet
Yep.
with some omelets and
Yep.
things like
and you
that.
would have
Yeah.
breakfast items. As
We
well.
we already do breakfast now earlier a la carte, so that will switch over, and then that will be, and that's the original brunch that was at the Atlantic
And that's
Hotel.
you know what, that's perfect for like summertime. You know, for people that want to go have a nice Sunday brunch and feel like you're getting away. You could come here and feel like you're in
Yep.
Savannah or Charleston, or you could go to the Atlantic to Wild Time and feel like
The
you're in
view
Fort
there is
Lauderdale.
so cool.
Like
Again,
overlooking
that was a
Fort Lauderdale
place where
Beach.
they have a great view,
Right.
and my wife and I came for the view and left for the food. Literally, we left going, "Wow, that was amazing!"
That
Like,
was- yeah.
and it's again the way you guys did the build out inside the Wild Times is so cool. It's like so well
Casual,
lit,
yeah,
and
it's
like
nice. It's what you need on the ocean.
it just feels like ready,
Yeah.
to have it in a great weekend.
And
Yeah.
you get also the free parking. I mean, where do you get
Yes.
that on the beach?
Which is a thing.
It's
Remember,
unreal.
we paid when we went, and I was like, "All right, Steve said we got it validated," and it was amazing. Both my wife and I were in awe.
How about that? To be able to like actually go
It's for
overlooking
locals.
the beach.
We're here for locals.
That's
And
great.
it is really a
That's
great
great.
locals
Locals
spot.
deserve a little vacation on
Especially
Sundays.
now that,
Yes.
I know this is sad for you to think about that high season is almost come and gone. And
Yeah.
once Easter and Mother's Day,
You can get through
maybe,
May.
Mother's Day, you're going to be doing kind of similar
Yes.
brunch buffet
yes.
at
yes.
all the
both,
properties.
both places.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
good to hear because those are coming up relatively quickly, sooner than you think.
They are.
April 20th for
Mhm.
Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And then May 11th is Mother's Day. And never too soon to think ahead and start planning and making reservations. If you want to get a reservation either here at House on the River
Yep.
or there at Wild Time, you just go online, right?
Yep. Yep.
You guys on Resi
The House on the
or
River, Open Table.
Open Table
Yeah.
for both.
On both. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Don't get shut out. It's one of those things. Mother's
Yeah.
Day, you cannot procrastinate. Otherwise,
Good
you're
job.
going to be, maybe you'll be lucky to get one of those Vove boxes to go sit on a bench
Watching
along
by.
the river. But it's a mighty fine time. How Hollywood Food Hall again? I send people there for the chicken sandwich
chicken
and
sandwich.
You love
I
that.
still talk about
Jamaican
this freaking chicken sandwich.
and the ice cream. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some really
It's
good
really
products
good.
and vendors in there.
The Jamaican place was really
Yeah,
good.
Von Jamaican.
Vaughn was great.
Yeah.
There was the Israeli, the Middle Eastern place was really good.
Are people finding their way? And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the weekends making it.
The weekends are nice and busy.
Good.
And that area is just booming.
Yeah.
It has
We hope,
probably
yeah.
another year to really keep on going.
Yeah.
But the buildings are amazing. What's going on there? So I think that whole streetscape will change
The
dramatically.
buildings are booming, and
Booming.
eventually the residents will be in there,
Yes.
and then
And
they
then-
get hungry. And
That food hall's
the
perfect.
one thing that hasn't been able to be done virtually, I know people can order in their food, but people still need to eat real food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and again, we talked about experience,
Mm-hmm.
and that place is another experience. There's a lot going on there. You're doing a lot to bring more people in.
Yeah.
And it's just the vibe there. It's wide open. It's not a lot of time. The food hall thing feels cloistered.
Yeah.
It's perfectly spread out. There's a lot of seating.
It's right on the street. So if you want to take a little stroll, you're right there. And if anything's going on in the park, that's nice too.
right
Young
there.
Circle. Yep.
Yep, it's all good. And
It's good.
are we forgetting anything? Is that cover all the Society 8 bases at this point?
Yeah.
That's it.
You got all the bases.
It's
You got it all
enough.
covered.
So once again, Steve DaPuzzo has done it again. And what I'm shocked about, this is kind of like an upset if there was a sports betting site, because I'm usually a seafood pasta guy over a meat and potato guy, but today I am just devouring this pork chop with the smashed
The
potatoes.
pasta's fantastic, but the pork chop, again, it's because of just how well it's not well done. Well, it's done. Like where
How
we get good pasta.
properly.
You guys do a great pasta. You're DaPuzzo. I'm presuming you're going to do pasta right. And again, not that you wouldn't do a pork chop wrong, but you can have a pork chop like it and go, okay.
That sauce, I just fell
The
in love with
sauce
that
is
sauce
nuts.
with it.
Why not? I
Yeah.
like the mushrooms. Like they're not just diced or minced. They're nice
Yep.
chunks of
Yep.
mushrooms. Like
You're getting the real flavor.
it's
from the
really good.
mushrooms. Yeah.
It's a really good dish.
This dish is a winner.
Yeah.
It is Lunchbox approved, not only for lunch, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
great
on the
for
dinner
lunch,
menu,
dinner, yeah.
so it's not going to be on the lunch. Do you have a specific lunch menu? Because you guys are open for lunch on Fridays?
Yeah,
besides-
Friday and then Saturday, Sunday is the brunch menu. So you get the little
Right.
combo. Yeah, we have, it's a great menu. We do caviar and chips, and then we do, a traditional mahi sandwich. That's not really so traditional,
Right.
by the way, but it's definitely tasty and fresh.
And on this,
Chef fillets everything in-house.
Wow.
So, the fish come in whole. Salmon, he's back there filleting salmon and the mahi. So everything is as fresh as can be.
breaking things down properly.
Yes.
In terms of can you get that same smash burger on this side, or is it more of a steakhouse burger here?
It's
or
a smash burger. It's just the setup's a little bit different.
Okay.
But someone could order it on either side. We don't really say you have to be in somewhere. It's really a difference in like the atmosphere from one side to the other. Some people like a quieter experience and they sit on this side.
Right.
And if you want a little more lively,
So there's a DJ.
there's a DJ. Yeah.
So it gets
He's not blasting it.
No.
It's just nice. It's got a vibe.
It's a little bit more, I would say, convivial, rambunctious. It's the younger crowd. The nice part is because it's outside, the sound filters away, so that if you're sitting over here,
You're not bothered.
No,
one ever
it's not.
complains.
Yeah.
No one ever complains.
there's something for everyone at the house on the river.
It really is.
It's the house.
It is the
When
house.
again, the inside's so cool because every room's a little different, which is, but you still get the same great service, same great food. So it's really cool. Like,
And we're starting as we come out of season, we're starting these dinner parties in the rooms.
nice.
Right.
So it's family style menu.
Nice.
And it's all you order what you want, but
Didn't
it's all
you-
family style.
I think last year, didn't you host like one of these barbecue events
I
with our
did.
friends? It was Jeremy Peters
Yep.
and Ron,
Yep.
Big Green Egg Ron.
they had a great meal.
Maybe we should do another one of those. Or
We
I
should
mean,
definitely do one.
I-
Found me. Those two, I love those guys,
those
and
guys
we
are
love
good.
him. So that's a
So-
great combination.
Yeah, they
And
did
that's-
a great job.
and it's nice because during the off season you can experiment
Yeah, do
and
some fun
do
things.
some more
It's nice
one-offs.
to see it activated and different people in and different
Yeah.
experiences.
It's all
I
good.
like those big dinners. I think they're phenomenal.
I think they're
You
fun.
meet people,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
you don't want to meet people, you
You keep
end up
going,
meeting
yeah,
someone.
yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It is very, very
Yeah.
cool. All right, job well done. Let's
Thank you.
take our third and final break. I've even got the break count right today.
Look at you.
Things are good. Look at you. Lubie is just sucking down that espresso martini.
It's really good. My wife would be proud.
Yeah, you might lose your man card. I mean,
I
do
don't
men
feel bad.
order espresso
Yes, and
martinis?
it's
become very
masculine to have an
popular,
espresso
man. It's-
martini.
You don't have to get defensive. That's okay.
I don't feel bad.
If you like that kind of thing, I'm the
It's
one who's
great.
drinking a freaking drink with
Flour.
ice biscuits or whatever that is. But
And again, I
it's
don't
good.
think you should be defensive either. If
No.
Steve's bringing it out, I'm drinking it.
No
I'll tell you that.
judgments. No judgments. Just smooth sipping. All right, we'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the lunch. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox.
Okay, we're back. House on the River. It is a twin bill lunchbox today, but we're going to replay this one because it's so much fun. We're going to do it again on Monday because on Monday we're doing another late happy hour edition out at Eddie and Vinny's. I don't know if you know Eddie Pozzoli.
No.
Oh, okay. He's a guy. His family owned Tavolino de la Notte out in Coral Springs.
I've heard of that.
And Eddie is kind of second generation restaurateur. His family has gotten back possession of now called Eddie and Vinny's. They rebranded it, but he also has a hand, and he was partnering with Burt Rappaport up at Palm Beach County with Prezzo and Corvina Seafood Grill. Eddie is a young up-and-comer in the whole hospitality business, and we wish him well because they just opened Eddie and Vinny's Coastal Italian up on Sample Road in
Coral Springs.
Lubie's Hood, and we're going to be out there Monday at 5 p.m. But we're going to show this at our usual 1 p.m. time, so more people will get the word about how good the House on the River is. Again, it is just here on the new river. If you go 1 block south of Hermarshi, basically if you go to where the Science Museum is, just 1 block south to the river, and you'll be there. Plenty of on-street parking, garage parking,
parking everywhere,
all kinds of parking, and you can even Uber here or come by gondola or boat.
We got a ton of people finding out about the dockage now.
There is dockage.
Because it's all city-free dockage.
Oh, really?
All the way around the whole bend.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think it's over 300 linear feet of dockage.
Oh, wow.
That is good to know.
Yes.
For people who are into the boating life.
Take a little boat ride.
Does the water taxi stop here?
Stop is right here. Just steps
away.
Nice.
So there you go.
That's your move.
Now that is the
That's a
ultimate
day.
South
That's
Florida.
a
Yeah, but that's a day. That's a great day.
Take the water taxi, do a little bar hopping, and then end up and have a
come
great
here.
brunch.
Yep.
Or first come here, have brunch. Don't get too sloppy first. That's bad manners.
I'll come here first.
Oh, man, this is great. I can't thank you enough, Steve. Always
great.
a pleasure
Thank
to
you,
see
boys.
you. Good to
Always
catch up
good.
about the old country in Brooklyn. And you know what?
The old country.
Onward and upward because things can and do get better.
So I think it should make you happy to realize, okay, you come home and you're not going down in food. It feels like you're stepping up in food.
I know, and it's like I'm not one of those people on my group who are like, oh, nothing as good as it is in New York. Well, you know what?
You were just in New York.
I was
you
just in New York.
weren't hailing it as like you used to.
And you know, you
food
could
everywhere.
find great food everywhere and
You don't
good
have to look that
value.
hard.
Kind of hard to find good value in New York these days.
No.
Everything has gotten very expensive.
Those
But
poor guys.
yeah, you think rent here in South Florida. Try Midtown Manhattan. All right, all good. All right, House on the River. Atlantic Hotel has Wild Time. Block 40 Food Hall, downtown Hollywood, just off Young Circle. They're all there for the taking.
Yep.
Great experiences, great food, great hospitality. That's what Steve DaPuzzo Society 8 is
Thank
all
you.
about. Enjoy the night and enjoy every pork chop. Enjoy every angry or mildly perturbed shrimp.